Hey peeps. So, I did my Colpo today. By the way, FYI, I just noticed that I have been saying colposcopy instead of colposcopy. So, from now on, it's just going to be Colpo. Anyways, so, I did my Colpo today. And, so everything was fine. No sin anywhere on the cervix. He said that he just looked at the bottom of the canal because I haven't had any kids, so he can't obviously look further up. But from now on, I am not going to worry about this crap anymore. So, oh my god. That's it. It's definitely fucking over and it's definitely behind me. So the chances, I mean, just think about it realistically. The chances of all of these women that have had SIN3 and that haven't had canal activity, having adverse effects later in terms of glandular cell activities, if none of these women have come across, come back into the picture through Inspire and God knows what, the chances of that the glandular cell activity being abnormal are very, very low. From that one case that we had, from that lady on Inspire, she was different because she already had adenocarcinoma, so that was different. But for all those ladies that have had SIN3 and haven't had canal activity, your chances of developing glandular cell activity are probably like not very high at all, especially if you don't have SIN anymore. So not SIN, HPV, especially if you don't have HPV anymore. So I suppose that kind of makes my life a little bit easier, because it's very easy to get scared, very easy to get anxious. I'm over being anxious, I'm over anxiety, I'm over all that shit. I'm not even going to concentrate on that crap. But I'll tell you why I was also concerned. There was something else that happened. That's what made me concerned a little bit more. Okay, so in the previous posts that I made, I was right. So the cervix will definitely need a lot more time to heal. It's already healed. It was healed, like I said, probably about a month after post-Escharotics. But to completely heal, it's going to take probably a while, because last month I noticed a little bit of spotting. Like, it wasn't even spotting, it was like streaks of a little bit of blood. And I was like, oh shit, But I did think that it could have been caused from something else. So I put in the vaginal suppositories, the herbal ones that I have from Bosnia. So I put one in, and then about a day or two later, I noticed the streaking. And then it passed, and then I did it again after a couple of days, and then I noticed again the streaking. So it was from the vaginal pessaries. So clearly my cervix is still healing a little bit more. And when I asked the gyno today what my cervix looks like, he says there's only a little bit like of scar tissue left. There's not a lot. It's very, very minimal. And he said don't put anything up there anymore, probably for the next 6 months as well. Because I noticed every time I put that pessary in, it was like the escharotic treatment when Nick put the escharotic treatment on. It would feel like I'm about to get my periods. Not as intense, but something just wasn't right. Anyway, so I started fucking streaking. Anyway, whatever. Spotting, whatever you want to call it. So this is my experience, and I'm only saying this just to make women aware. So if it does happen to you guys, you know what's going on. What did I want to say? Oh yeah, and I think it also happened because I did my treatments intensively. So I did the first 5 treatments within 3 weeks, and then I only did 3 within like 10 days, I think. I don't know. And So that's that. In terms of the Colpo HPV result, sin, so he said definitely no sin, and that I wasn't even worried about the cervical abnormalities, because I knew that there wasn't a chance of that happening. But I was more concerned about the glandular ones. This time around, he was very interested in knowing what I did and how I did it and where I went and all that kind of stuff, as opposed to last time when I saw him, which was about 10 months ago, when I sent him the treatment and all of that. I sent him an email. I said, can I send it to you, this treatment, just so you can see what it is? And I sent it to him, and his receptionist responded back. I mean, look, I understand they're in the medical field, and it's literally a slap in their face. It's a slap to their degree and all the years that they have studied, and it's a slap to their ego. It's, all this stuff. And basically, she responded back that he looked at it, and he said that Nick wasn't what was the word she said? He wasn't acknowledged or supported by the American Association of Gynecology or the Australian Association of Gynecology, or something like that, or the treatment wasn't supported or something like that. And yeah, he's like, she said he's not an MD, he's a chiropractor. And then I just returned the email, and I replied and I said, yes, I'm very well aware that he is a chiropractor. I know that. I am aware of that. But anyways, whatever. So yeah, this time around he was much more interested in Escharotics. I should probably send him the book that Nick published. Anyways, I went to my naturopath as well, and I feel so more comfortable talking to her. I love her. She's the best. Her name is Marelle. Her clinic's called Marelle Burnam. It's in Sutherland for all those people that are in Sydney. She's the best. Love her. Anyways, so she, I was telling her all about the treatment, and then I sent her the links to Nick's website and all this kind of stuff, all the information about Escharotics, because she never heard of it either, but she heard of bloodroot. She knows what bloodroot is, but she never heard of this treatment, and she was really interested in the treatment as well. I'm sure it would have gone through her head to, incorporate it into her clinic, but it's illegal in Australia. Go figure. So yeah, now back onto Nick. As some of you might know, he will be officially selling his practice, his clinic, to, what was her name? I can't remember. Anyways, she's an ND, and she will be officially running the clinic, which is a shame. I mean, no offense to her. I mean, I don't know her, but I'm just saying it's a shame for him, because clearly he's helped a lot of women. But I actually will go and see him. And funnily enough, which, I mean, I don't like hearing these stories, but at the same time, I suppose because I've gone through this and I know now what to do, it's a good thing. So one of my best friends here in Sydney, she got she did her PAP, and she has SIN 1, which is better than what I had. I don't know if she has HPV, because she's not really into this stuff. She wasn't as concerned about it as I was, but she is becoming concerned now, because the gyno, so we're going to the same gyno, she actually referred me to him. And I've got to admit, this guy isn't that bad. Like, he's not. He was the only one who said to me that I have an inflammation. Out of all the gynecologists that I saw, he was the only one that said I had an inflammation and that I had SIN 3 and SIN 2. Anyways, so he put her, she had, SIN 1. I don't know if she had HPV. And he put her on these antibiotics for 3 weeks that was supposed to reduce the inflammation. The same thing he suggested for me, actually, now that I remember. Yeah, he did. He actually gave me those the prescription for those antibiotics, and I was like, no, forget it. I'm not taking antibiotics. Because he said to me it will only reduce it by 40%. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of that? Like, but the point of it actually was to get a biopsy, because I asked him, should I get a biopsy? And he's like, you can if you want to, you don't have to. And then I was just like, no. I was looking at the paper and I'm like, no. Anyways, so these antibiotics, they're not that great, because my friend said to me that she had sensitivity to the light. So like during the summer period when she was taking the antibiotics, she was so sensitive to light, to sunlight. Like, anyways, it doesn't really matter. Look, the point is, I said to her, look, I need to go back to Chicago anyways, because I want to get an official photo of my cervix and the way it looks now, because I don't have the last 3 photos of my treatment, and the reason is because I mentioned it in one of the last videos. That was because the authorities came in, took all his files, and they took those last 3 photos as well. So I already had the first 5, but I didn't have the last 3. So I don't really need the last 3, but it'd be nice to have them. What I really want is just a picture of my cervix and the way it looks now. So I just want, in my mind, to know, to have that picture of my cervix. And I don't know, I'm into that stuff, so like, anyways, yeah, I want it. So I'm only going to go to Chicago for that. I will go, but I don't know when, but I want to go. And then I was telling my friend, look, come with me. I know that he'll definitely get rid of your sin 1, and he'll definitely get rid of your inflammation. Your inflammation will be gone like that. So she's thinking about it, because she's got other things going on in her life. So I would be really, really happy if she came with me, and I can put her, on my discount list, so it won't be that expensive. So Nick's selling his clinic, which is not the best. But on another note, I actually spoke to Nick about this before. While I was there, I was really genuinely thinking about getting trained in doing escharotics. I know it's illegal here in Australia, so clearly that won't work. But what I was thinking of doing was, if I ever ended up moving back to Bosnia, because last year I had an opportunity to land a job in Bosnia, which was quite good. It was a really good job. And I made it to the final interview, but I didn't get it. And to be honest, I wasn't exactly 100% ready to go. But I thought if I ever do go back, in Bosnia, it would be easy to do. It wouldn't be a problem to do it in Bosnia, and I would maybe be the first person in Europe to do it. But I want to get officially trained in it, and I definitely think that I need the naturopathic degree, which is 4 years here in Sydney, 3 or 4 years. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's something that's at the back of my mind. I don't know. I really, really want to do it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's one thing. What else did I want to say? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but all the warts that I had, like there was some here, they're all gone. Like they're literally all gone. The ones that were growing up here, they're gone. I don't know what else to say about this. Alright, yeah. So, I made a video, what was it, I don't know, last week or something like that. I wanted to do a study, right? So, I wrote up all the freaking questions. There was only 7 of them, there wasn't that many. But I wrote those questions up and I posted it on Inspire. And I get this freaking message from Inspire saying that you cannot conduct any surveys or research or some shit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, I mean, whatever. Anyways, so basically all those questions that I wrote up on Inspire, they don't exist because they deleted it, and now I can't remember all the questions that I had, but I'll have to write that up. I'll have to write that up again. So yes, if there is anyone out there who would like to share their story, I would be very happy to take your story on board, because I'm really interested. Like I said, I wanted to see the long-term effects of escharotics on pregnancy, specifically on pregnancy, and also whether it comes back or not, what kind of that's the long term. So I know I've spoken to a lady on Inspire through private messages. She really helped me in making my decision before I went to Chicago, and she's HPV sin free 5 years on. So for 5 years she's been sin and HPV free. She was relatively young as well. I think she was in her early 30s, or not even in her, actually late 20s. I think it was late 20s. She was about my age, I think, when it happened to her. So yes, that's what I'm specifically interested in. I don't know. All I can say is that I'm now genuinely happy and I'm just free of stress. Just free of stress, and that's what I hope all of you guys get out of Escharotic treatments. And it's a shame. It's a real shame that Nick cannot practice anymore. But maybe that will change in the future as well. You never know. Okay, so leave me some questions or comments or whatever you need, whatever you want. I'll leave my email down the bottom once again, and hopefully, actually I know if you go to Nick, everything will be fine. So good luck everyone.